Hi, welcome to part 2 of this Facebook Live video on how to create a healthy community in a city with citizens, how to co-create. Now, we're gonna talk about 6 steps on how to co-create a healthy culture in a city, which is often referred to as a part of city marketing. How to attract people to live in the city, how to make sure neighborhoods are communicating or interacting on the long term, how to go from ad hoc initiatives, one by one, to real long-term habits, which are automated brain patterns. So there's a first part in this Facebook Live where I explained what this video is about, and I shared a bit about the first step of getting a clear vision for the project. Why are we doing this as a city? What's the financial drivers? And also, what's the message? So in companies, many companies are organizing a lot of initiatives, but it's very important to have one focus. For a city, this one focus can be solitude. Maybe there's a lot of people who are new in the city and they don't know a lot of people yet, and this could be a main topic. Another topic could be about stress, how to deal with stress or anxiety. So feel what is keeping people busy in the city. It could be something else, like a sleep challenge in a city. Whatever topic you work on, we created this model and gathered all kinds of topics related to wellness, whether it's financial wellness, movement, getting tension released, getting emotions released, getting people to connect socially, finding purpose. The main thing is to find the focus that is important in your city if you're doing this as city marketing, but just choose one major topic and get the message out. So the first step of this six-step model of creating a community with your citizens in a city, whether you are living in a city, whether you're working for a city, as a consultant or as a coworker in the city, creating policies, there's 6 main steps you can use. Now the second step is, once it's clear what's driving a city to create this community, and once the message is clear, for example, we want to get rid of anxiety in our city, then it's time to go to the next. The first part, and I love sharing this with a picture, is it's called an organogram maybe in English. So in companies, we kind of make a new picture. You know, this hierarchical structures, how you have a manager and another manager and another manager and another manager, and then you have everyone. So we kind of twisted it around based on the model of Ricardo Semler. And Ricardo Semler is a visionary from Brazil who received his father's factory with thousands of people. And he said, you know what, we're going to take this pyramid and we're going to turn it around and we're going to make all the managers support everyone who's close to the customer, because the people who are most close to the product and the customer, these are the people we need to listen to every day. And I'm going to look for this picture. This is what it looks like. So you kind of want to, this is how it normally is, you know, you have a manager and then more managers, and then you have everyone who's, for example, in a city, this can be the people meeting the citizens every day. These can be the citizens themselves who do sports. Now, we're going to turn this around, and we're going to bring another pyramid the other way around, where the people who are nearest to the products in a city, this can be who's seeing the citizens on a daily basis. These people are on the top of the pyramid. They create most value. The other layers in the pyramid are people supporting. So imagine this right now. For example, in a company, you have a new initiative and you want to have a Zen room. You want to meditate in the company. So usually, the other way around, you're here, you have an idea. This manager needs to like the idea. This manager needs to like the idea. until it goes all the way to the top. So you need to be very lucky that 5 people like your idea. And if there's no real science backing it up, or if you don't have the return on investment ready right now, it's going to be a hard challenge, and it can take years just to get this little room where you can meditate. Now, if you turn this pyramid around and if an organization agrees with it, it means if an idea comes from, for example, a citizen who says, hey, we should have this little place in the park where people who feel anxious feel safe. They can go there. Maybe there's someone present, maybe not. So the ideas come directly from the people who want to do it. And the role of the managers becomes supporting the ideas, and they actually help support each idea. So for example, with this anxiety room in a park, a manager can help calculate, okay, it's actually very valuable to do it because it relates to these goals. And that was why it was important to have the goals very clear in step 1. So in step 2, this is what you're creating. All the roles in a city based on the reverse pyramid of Ricardo Semler. So this is about creating healthy community in a city. This is a 6-step process that we're translating from a corporate environment to a city, as a city is a group of an organization of people with a similar purpose. They're all living together. So if this is clear, if in a city, so you're living in a city, you're working for a city, or you're a consultant going to a city, and it's clear, okay, this is why we do it. Maybe you want to have, I don't know if you use Net Promoter Score in the city, but in companies, there's something called Net Promoter Score, and it means they want every customer to promote, not just be happy, to promote the products. So this is something you can use in a city too. How many of the people living here are actually saying, hey, I'm living in this awesome city, come live here? This means you're giving an 8 or a 9 on this Net Promoter Score. So I'm gonna go back to the steps. So I'm gonna break it down. So it's really simple, and after this video, you can take it and bring it in reality tomorrow. But the first step is, okay, as a city, why is it important for us to engage our citizens? Why are we doing this? It's for the happiness. Do we want to attract new people to live in a city? Do we have a focus on better health in our city because we know the economics will grow? Do we focus on getting more companies in the city, and is having happy citizens a first step? So get this very, very clear with numbers. We are here. We're now the 25th of February, 25th of April. This is where we want to go. Get a number before and a number after, because you want that whole organization of step 2, the reverse pyramid. Everyone needs to know the numbers. And this is beautiful. I relate this with law of attraction. Maybe some people know it. It's a bit blurry, but it's very scientifically explainable too. If everyone has a clear focus where we're going to, if everyone in a city knows we want a Net Promoter Score, we want every person who's living here to talk with such excitement and joy that more and more people want to come live here. If everyone's clear on the goal, it's going to happen. There's going to be so much momentum. So step 1, get clear why you're doing it. Step 2, get this organogram. Get all people to know their roles and feel supported. And this is the big version of it. But get very clear in who's most near to the citizens and who is most near with the product, which is the city, which is everything going on and happening. And get your whole organization ready to support new ideas so people feel welcomed, feel heard, and seen. And then the next step, step 3, which is one of my favorites, which is the actual co-creation. So in companies, in beginning, we didn't use this. We didn't use the co-creation step 3. But what we saw is when in a company, people have ideas, and I hear it on a daily basis. Yeah, everyone in the company is saying, we want to have a gym. And then the company puts a gym. No one goes. And they're like, what? It's such a huge investment, and everyone was asking for it, right? And it's not that people were lying, it's everyone wants to have a gym. But if there's no time to go to the gym, and if It's shifting priorities in the mind. So it's very important, if you're doing this also as a city, you can have the best infrastructure. If there is no mindset change, which brings health as a priority, or whatever message you're bringing, it needs to become a priority in the mind, so it's top of mind when people think of it, when people think of the city. So this third step, and this is really amazing to do, it's doing co-creational gatherings. It's bringing people together. It's going to take a look in your new Organogram in your city and ask people, and you're gonna have about 10% of the people who, for example, as a city, if you're working on having less anxiety, you can ask people, hey guys, who's ever had anxiety in their life? And I mean, the percentages are like 50% worldwide. So you can ask and invite everyone. And there's another system here for these invitations. Today, I'm not gonna go deeper in this, but you can invite people, come think with us, how can we release anxiety in our city? And in companies, we see 10% of the people have habits already, for example, to decrease anxiety. And you want to have these examples. You want to have people who overcame anxiety because they've done it. They've tried. They've found ways to deal and heal. And once you have these real life examples, everyone in the city will be like, oh, did you have anxiety? Wow, and you're living in the same city. How did you do it? Where did you go? They'll have peers and they'll have examples. And this is gonna boost community a lot. So the third step in creating a healthy community is getting success stories. 10% of any community has already worked around this topic, whether it's sleeping better, whether it's moving more, whether it's eating healthier. You're gonna find 10% of the people. So if you're a city with, I don't know, 10,000, 100,000 people, that is huge. Do these little co-creational sessions. Get amazing practitioners who know about appreciative inquiry, which is a technique to get people to share from a place of trust. So do these co-creational sessions and gather all the ideas. And it doesn't stop there. So step one, get your message clear. If you're in a city living, if you're working for a city council, or if you're a consultant for a city, make sure to have a goal first. Make it clear what's driving a certain project. Then go to the strategy, create your target group, who's joining, what roles, who is in the project. Bring in ideas from the people, proven ideas, people who have done it already. One day we were working for a company and it was a campaign on sitting less. And it was one of the most beautiful examples. We attracted someone and he was doing 12,000 steps, which is 8 or 9 kilometers a day. He wouldn't run, he wouldn't do sports. He had all these amazing ways to move more in the company. He would go to another building to get water, and we mapped his journey, and it was an amazing story because everyone can do that. I mean, not everyone can start running a marathon, but everyone can go get a bottle of water in another office, and then he met amazing people along the road and he had great career opportunities. So there's always a starting point. So get the ideas and do the co-creation. But then in the next step, it's important you're still an organization with a purpose and a budget, to get a little bit of control back, because people can come, hey, we're gonna do, and we've had this in companies. So in the beginning when we were working, people would come up with these amazing ideas. You know what, all these traffic jams, we're gonna take a boat and we're gonna go with a boat to work every day. And I mean, we had amazing initiatives, but we quickly learned it's also important to start with small initiatives that are very easily, you can put them in tomorrow without much budget until it's proven and many people join, and then you can put in more budget. So in the third step, it's very important to sit together with the people who manage the budget and just say, okay, guys, how much budget do we want to invest? If you want to have a place in the park where people with anxiety can come, do you want to build a 1 million beautiful space? Or maybe you can start with something that's already there, bring in some cushions, some candles, some music, and pay maybe not even €1,000, and just start until it's proven itself that on a daily basis, 10, 20, 50 people come in this beautiful space, because that's how it proves itself. And then you can do the 1 million investment if hundreds of people a day come. But the other way around is risky, because then you have the most beautiful building and the concept isn't proven yet. So in a third step, we usually give guidelines and templates for everyone who is a decision maker to think and see the barriers. Okay, will it be visited? How will people get there? How will it be opened? Think proactively to get all the resistance from people's minds so they can easily come in the park, flow in, and feel welcome in this, for example, anti-anxiety, beautiful house in the park. I'm just giving an example. The example will come from your citizens, for sure. So this video is about creating community with citizens as a way of doing city marketing, and we're using the corporate wellness model and bringing it on the level of a city, which is an organization too, which is a group of people gathering with a purpose of living together. One of the most important things, living in the same space together. So we've shared step 1, get your goal clear. Why is your city doing it? Get a number before and after. Step 2, get the target groups clear, the organization, who's responsible, what budget, who are the decision makers, and get the people close to citizens, close to the city, to have processes so ideas are supported. Do co-creational sessions where people come up with realistic ideas from their own experience, for example, around the topic of less anxiety in the city. And then bring some basic, we call this inspiration templates. It's actually 4 or 5 pages where people say, when can I go there? When is it open? How much do I pay? How do I do it? In this, for example, anxiety little house, what do I do there? Am I being welcomed? Do I sit down? What if I don't feel safe? Think about everything, visualize it before it's starting. And then the next phase is the action phase. This is a phase where most corporate wellness projects are solely in. It focuses on, hey, we're going to do a sleep challenge. We're going to use step counters. But this phase, the action phase, only gets about 5 to 15% of the people to join, because it's a mental process. I mean, if you don't care about cars, you can have the best car, Ferrari, in the color you love. If you don't use a car, you can have the best initiatives, you're not going to join because it's just not in your mind. It's the same when you're focusing on an initiative in a city, which could be on, let's all sleep healthier, but maybe you're already sleeping in a good way. No one is going to join. You can have the best mattresses, you can do the best promotions. So it's very important to really start in the beginning. And when going in the action phase, getting people through a marketing campaign. And letting them give some statistics. So, anxiety. Is there anxiety? Yeah. Did you know 1 in 2 people in our city are anxious? Oh, wow. And people start looking around and asking people how they feel, and it's going to create a whole new. And what is anxiety? It's not a weakness. It's a chemical process in the body. So you kind of want to start before going in action and sharing about beautiful initiatives. Share some stories. What's happening with sleep? What's happening with movement, with nutrition? Any topic you want to use in your city, first get the mindset going. Give some examples and let people do a test. Maybe you're prone to anxiety too, even if you don't know it. And let people do a small test, guided in a marketing campaign, to then promote the initiative. Look, someone in your area is doing amazing initiatives. Every Monday night they're coming together and they're just sitting together, 5 people, with the kids are being taken care of by one of them, and the other 5 people are meditating together or breathing together. Whatever initiative comes up, and people will be surprised. Wow, in my street there's so much going on. I feel I have a place to go. So that's the action phase. Remember, in the action phase, don't just do things, but get the mindset there. Why? Get self-test, get awareness, quizzes. And then keep it going on the long term, to keep community going on the long term. And this is very exciting. It's happening worldwide. In a city, to create community, get initiatives going. remember in a sports club, you know, you should notice it. Like if you go, I was climbing yesterday, and it's always the same. People go for the climbing, of course, but then it's, hey, how about having a drink afterwards? People do sports because they love it, but they keep doing it for the friendships, for the drinks, because after climbing you can share the whatever's happening in your life. It's the same in this community. If you want to create a really successful community on the long term, you want to have ambassadors who keep bringing in a new initiative. Maybe the Monday night meetings are getting a bit boring, and then we're going to do a Halloween meditation meetup. Just saying something. So you want to keep helping your ambassadors who are bringing people together in some neighborhoods. You want to support them with new ideas, with new insights on mindset, new results. So to keep it busy on the long term, you want to have new people welcoming them in the city, sharing everything that's going on. And you want to have these ambassadors that are keep building the community so it grows and grows and grows. And one of the most beautiful ways of community that is happening in the world right now, and that totally struck me 2 years ago, is the AcroYoga community. So AcroYoga, it's a beautiful sport, it's a gathering where people, you can't do it on your own. So you always need people. So it's AcroYoga got me to start traveling 1.5 years ago. I started traveling the world, and because of the AcroYoga, I was certain every city I went to, I was being welcomed. I would meet new people from day one if I went to an AcroYoga gathering. And even when I was in Bali just a month ago, and I was feeling a bit homesick, and I didn't know too many people yet, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go to AcroYoga, but my friends from Canada and Bali brought me, and then I had this amazing night, and I met so many people. And it's a way of, even if you don't feel good, and I wasn't really into doing AcroYoga anyway, but I was meeting amazing people, and they were connecting with me, people from day one. So AcroYoga is one of the most amazing initiatives, actually, to bring people together. It's about surrender and control, because you have to trust someone when you're doing AcroYoga. You're literally on someone. So just an example, if you are curious how this community feels like, it's in Belgium too, it's all around the world. Go to an AcroYoga gathering, even if you don't do AcroYoga, and feel how you're welcomed by amazing ambassadors, because this feeling is where the world is going towards. In everything, whatever is happening, if you're in a city, it's amazing if you have a place to go, whether you're working on health or movement or nutrition. Communities are the next step. What was 100 years ago, people, and I still see it in Asia and all over the world, people come together in church or in gatherings. And while this concept of church is changing in Belgium, and people are looking for another way of coming together, not only to celebrate and share the good, but also for maybe more struggles and challenges in life. So I'm going a little bit off topic, but I'm very passionate about it. So this was today's Facebook Live. And what I shared today is, if you're living in a city, if you're working for a city, if you are a consultant or you want to become a consultant helping cities create community, you can use these 6 steps that I briefly shared, which is usually a course of 6 or 8 weeks. So you get your goal clear, what's the financial drivers, you get this Organogram, and you can review it in this video. And I'm going to show it just once again, because this is a really important concept that's changing organizations worldwide right now. So this, remember, instead of the pyramid where if you have an idea, you have to convince 5 bosses who need to have the same interest, we turn it around and we say that people are in a company, this is the people who are closest to the product or to the customer. This is step 1. They get the ideas from the customers, closest to the markets, most innovative. Then there's managers supporting and taking every idea and helping to promote the idea within the business goals. So these people can just receive ideas from the customers and bringing it to the management. So that's the second step. The third step was do a co-creation, get people together. 10% of people, whatever you're thinking of, have already created healthy habits, pathways in the brain of how they're doing it. And then a next step is, okay, you can do big, huge things, 1 million buildings, but start with something small, let the concept prove itself, and then invest. And then in the action phase, get people to share success stories, get the mindset first. Don't go selling a car if people have no idea why they want to buy a car. Start with, okay, why is, for example, anxiety, sleep, nutrition? Why are we working with this with the whole city? And then in the next step, to make it long-term, community means people feel welcomed, people feel safe, there's an ambassador welcoming you, and you're not just doing it for the sake of getting rid of anxiety anymore, because people don't have anxiety anymore after a couple of months, but they keep coming together because they found a new way of friendship, of connecting, and keeping that and getting new people to feel welcome. This is the strength of community on the long term. And if you apply all of this in a city, you won't just live the health and the connection. It's going to be a domino effect. And there's the amazing books. And I think the city was called Minneapolis in America, which was a flagship city for this concept. So it's an effect. Companies will come to the city. People want to live in the city. It's going to boost, 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 boost. It won't stop. So that was what this Facebook Live was about, how to create community in a city, why to do it, how to use corporate wellness methodology exactly to do it in a city, which is also an organization of people with a similar purpose of living together. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope everyone watching can maybe start an initiative in their neighborhood, maybe even today. And I see a lot of people, like I see Leah, you're already doing amazing things. I know in Ghent with dancing, and I see Levi who's doing amazing things, bringing Bitcoin community together. And there's probably many, many more. Feel free to share what community you're creating and promoting it through this Facebook Live too, because it's always awesome to learn from each other. And if this is something you wanna go deeper in, and you want to do the whole course, which is 6 weeks first and then 8 weeks, I'll put a link here, and you can apply whether you're. This is for people who want to do this as a job. So what I've been doing the last 5 years for companies, I'm now teaching others to do it. I'm traveling worldwide, and I'm in Belgium, Netherlands, Canada, Australia. I attract people who want to bring this in a company, in a city, and I give them everything we learned. And this is just the first program. I share everything we did, and I share what did work and what didn't work, so you don't have to do the mistakes that we did, and you can just go there and get awesome results very quick. So I'll put a link if this is of your interest. You can just click on it, and it's a little survey asking a couple of questions, and then if I see we can be a match, and if this course can serve you, then we can have a call and have a lot of fun. And I'm very curious to hear where you are creating community, what's your passion, and what eventually is or can become your dream job. So have an amazing day. If you're in Belgium, enjoy the summer weather, wow, and let's chat soon. Ciao, ciao. Mm.